Hey there, it's Anna Novak, Downsizing, and I want to talk with you about the estate sale process, getting rid of stuff when you're helping your senior clients downsize. So, the first thing you need to understand is that your clients will say, "Oh, yeah, we're just going to have an estate sale," and they may not understand all of the options that are available to them. You know this already that there are a lot of different types of estate clear out services available now. There's different options, there's different services that are more appropriate than others at different times. This is your job to understand all that and to have referral partners in your area that you can refer to. So the first thing you might want to do is when they say, "Oh, well, we're going to have an estate sale," you might just want to let them know that there are additional options and that you are going to be a guide for them. You're going to let them know. You're going to introduce them to people to learn what all of their options are so that they're not going down a road that may or may not be the best choice for them. So downsizing is complex, as we know. It can be a matter of years, months or weeks, but it's all kind of the same thing that everybody goes through. But getting rid of stuff is a big part of it. Um, and you really need to be a resource for your clients because this is what's kind of setting you apart. Being able to advise them on the timing of their project and what to look out for, and then being sensitive to what they're going through. This is not just an ordinary move and transaction, but you really need to have your ducks in a row when it comes to business partners and specialists, including, I'm going to call it estate sale, but what I really mean is the whole spectrum of services that can be called into play to empty a house of unwanted belongings. So going back to estate sales, I mean, there is a traditional estate sale model. If you want to offer that or introduce people, or if they say they want it, the first thing you need to look at is what do they have? Because I know in my Washington, D.C. market, if your client does not have $10,000 worth of stuff, then they won't even consider doing a sale. So you need to look around. What will happen most times is that people will take their nice things with them, which they should. They will give away the other good stuff. They're giving away that KitchenAid mixer, they're giving away that car, they're giving away that jewelry. And then when it's all over, there's not actually that much nice stuff. Um, Pretty rare, for most people to have a lot of nice stuff left over after they've taken their best stuff and given the rest away. And so, if there's not a lot of nice stuff left over, then you're going to need to go, or your clients are going to need to go down some other routes. So maybe taking, what can be sold, is maybe more of a drop off. They might do a consignment, for clothing or handbags or that sort of thing. But an estate sale is not just the go to solution, especially for people like that. So, yes, you're in the business of helping people through a transition. You're in charge of the real estate portion, and you really just need to be aware that any recommendations that you make about selling things, about the value of things, about ideas on how to move, handling people's belongings, none of those things are covered by standard brokerage insurance. So, anytime you're going to be a part of this with people, then I would highly recommend that you talk to your broker and get really, really, really specific about what you are covered for, what their best practices are for your office in terms of making business recommendations. And you do want to have those qualified referrals of other trustworthy businesses. So that's your real job, is to work on this referral network. And the last thing I'll say is that, you really, part of letting go of stuff, the reason it's hard is because it's an emotional process. People are going through a lot emotionally, mentally. There's like guilt, there's all kinds of negative emotions, pressure, you don't want to put pressure on them. So you just really need to be sensitive to that and then also allow the time that's necessary. Nobody wants to get rushed through this process. And I know you might feel impatient or like, oh my God, we just can't get them out of the house, but just be sensitive. I mean, that's part of dealing with seniors and downsizers is to be sensitive to what they're going through. So we're going to talk about all this on our call, but this is the basically the kinds of things I like to talk about when we're talking about getting rid of stuff through an estate sale or otherwise. And I'm looking forward to going over all this on our call. Thanks for stopping by.